Hello, everyone. My name is Betsy, and I want to tell you a story about a girl who, being in pursuit of beauty, turned into a terrible monster. I'd like to tell you about myself. I hope that my story will be useful to you and you will not repeat my mistakes. I have never been beautiful. I always had problematic and oily skin. Acne was constantly on my cheeks, and my forehead was shining so much that one could use it as a mirror. I bought all the creams and lotions with the promising names like anti acne or super clear skin, but nothing was effective. Once, I even asked my parents to take me to a doctor, but they just laughed at me. My parents called me a teenager and said that puberty was the reason for everything, and acne was a totally common thing for teenagers. Despite the fact that I had a healthy lifestyle, was eating a healthy diet, and was doing sports, my skin problems did not disappear. Because of acne, I was ashamed to be around people, so I went to school only after covering my face with foundation cream. I applied a thick layer of cosmetics on my face to hide all my imperfections. Yes, it looked terrible and people often laughed at me, but it was better than having skin with red dots. I told my best friend about all my problems. Her name was Nina. She was a little older than me and studied at a medical college. She also had her own small business, a home beauty salon. Nina served her clients at home, gave them manicures, pedicures, and made their eyelashes longer. In most cases, her clients were her friends and acquaintances, and I was one of them. Rather, once I was her very first and only client. I helped her business grow, found new customers, clicked on the thumbs up button under her Instagram posts, and commented on them. In gratitude, Nina often did my nails for free. She was the one whom I told about all my problems with my appearance. She always listened attentively to me, was comforting me, and telling me how to properly take care of my skin in order to at least slightly reduce the inflammation. Nina was really worried about my problem and sincerely wanted to help me, unlike my parents, who considered my complexes to be childish stupidity and did not want to spend money on a visit to the cosmetologist. And then one day, Nina came to my house looking very happy. She said that she had great news for me. She decided to become a cosmetologist. The news was really great, but I did not understand what it had to do with me. To become a cosmetologist, people study for many years, and by the time Nina got a diploma and would become a qualified specialist, I would be like 30 years old. But Nina just laughed at me and said that she had finished some courses for beginners where she was taught to correctly determine the type of skin, choose the right kind of peel, and do many other useful things. She knew the theory perfectly, and the only thing she lacked at that moment was practice. I did not want to be a laboratory rat for a beginning cosmetologist, but the thought that I could finally get rid of my acne literally stuck in my mind. In the end, Nina convinced me that everything would be all right. She was my best friend and also studied at a medical college. I trusted her, so I agreed. I did not say anything to my parents, and a few days later, I already had the first session. Nina was studying my skin for a long time, examined the acne with interest, and then made a skin peel for the first time in either of our lives. She washed off all my makeup, degreased my skin, and applied some kind of cream. I started having a burning sensation on my skin, and so I was really scared. But Nina said that everything was okay. It was just because acid penetrated the skin and activated generation of new cells or something like that. After the procedure, I looked like a tomato. My face was covered with red spots. I felt pain when touching it, and I did not know how to show it all to my parents. If they had seen what I did to myself, they would have to put me under house arrest and wouldn't have given me pocket money the whole month. They had already done this several times whenever I failed. Then Nina suggested to me to stay at her house overnight and wait until my face would gain its usual color back. That's what I did, but the next morning, everything was worse. My face started peeling terribly. I looked like a snake during molting, and it was just disgusting. The next few days were the worst of my life. At school, I had to apply face cream every half hour so that my skin that was peeling off was not visible. At home, I almost did not leave my room at all. I told my parents that I was preparing for exams, although in fact, during this whole time, I was just staring into the mirror. But after a few days, everything changed. When my skin finally stopped peeling off, I noticed that my face actually became clearer. There was much less acne, even some scars from really large acne disappeared. That was incredible. On the same day, I called Nina and asked her to repeat the procedure. For the sake of clear skin, I was ready for anything, even a red face. During the next few weeks, I kept visiting Nina. She carried out more and more deep peels. My skin did not manage to recover before I had the next procedure. This went on for about 3 months until I got a chemical burn. While carrying out the procedure, Nina and I were chatting and did not notice how the time flew by. Usually, peeling cream is washed off the face 7 to 10 minutes after being applied, but on that evening, I was lying with it on for more than a half hour. When we realized this, it was already too late. I had a chemical burn on my face, which I could not hide from my parents. I didn't want to set up Nina, so I came up with a story about a poor quality facial scrub that burned my skin. After that, I did not go to school for a whole week and I stayed at home. When my skin finally recovered, I went to Nina again to repeat the procedure. Now, I understand how stupid that was, but please listen to me. I've never had such a clear face. For all my life, I dreamed of getting rid of my acne, and the result from the peeling was really amazing. That's why I was surprised when Nina refused to carry out the skin peel again. She said that for 3 months of weekly procedures, my problem would not disappear. Acne continued to appear on my face, so she came up with something better. And it was mesotherapy. In short, this is a procedure when a special drug is injected into the skin. This helps fight skin problems from the inside. So I gladly agreed to this. In beauty clinics, this procedure was quite expensive, but Nina could do it right here at her house. Great! On the appointed day, I came to Nina's place being ready for the change. When the procedure began, I immediately felt that something was wrong. I had the feeling that hundreds of ants were biting my face. I did not say anything to Nina as I thought that's how it was supposed to feel, but then it only got worse. After a few minutes, my whole body was covered with red spots, and my face was swollen as if it were stung by bees. I felt waves of nausea, and my heart was beating so fast as if it wanted to jump out of my chest. Suddenly, I began to cramp, and it became difficult for me to breathe. Everything went dark, and I lost consciousness. I woke up in an ambulance. The doctors were shouting something, and Nina was crying next to me. I was connected to a weird device, and some tube was inserted into my mouth. I had double vision, and soon I fainted again. I spent more than 2 weeks in intensive care. Doctors said the fact that I survived was a real miracle. As it turned out, the drug that Nina injected into me contained a component to which I had an intolerability. It caused a terrible allergic reaction, and if Nina had called an ambulance just a minute later, I would have probably never woken up again. Of course, Nina told everything to the doctors and my parents. The latter were furious when they found out that it was because of her that I ended up in the hospital and that the chemical burn was also her mistake. The news that a medical college student considered herself to be a cosmetologist and nearly killed her friend quickly spread throughout our city. Nina was even suspended from her college classes. As for me, well, after that terrible procedure, huge scars and dark spots appeared on my face. They were like huge freckles and made me look like a cow or a giraffe. And also, my eyesight has gone bad. I even had to start wearing glasses. This is how a girl who dreamt of being beautiful has become a real monster. My acne no longer seems a great problem to me. Perhaps my parents were right when they said it was just because of puberty and I had to wait a little while. But now my parents have finally paid attention to my appearance. They began to take me to dermatologists and even made appointments with a cosmetologist who had proper education and experience. He said that the recovery process for my skin would be very long and that it could last for several years. This is a pretty sad story, but I learned a good lesson from it. Firstly, I've realized how important education is, especially in the medical field. Secondly, no beginning doctor courses can make you a good specialist. Please be attentive to your health and do not self medicate. You should not play a doctor and put your life at risk. Thank you for listening to my story. After all that has happened, I don't know how to treat Nina now. Should I continue being friends with her? I will be very grateful if you give me advice in the comments, as well as click on the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel.